Mr. Donald Marshall, are you there?
I am.
Right on.
Hi, Donald.
Howdy.
All right, let's get him on the big screen behind us. Stand by, stand by. We're going to dim the lights a little bit.
I got to...
Hold on here, Donald. We're going to get you on the big screen right behind us.
Yeah, I have my director doing everything for me.
Which is him. Hold on here, hold on.
Let's see.
And Ellen. So how's it going, Donald?
Not going too bad.
All right. Probably going to need to speak a little louder.
I said it's not going bad.
All right, right on. Yeah, I'm going to turn you up down here. Okay. All right. And Ellen has got you on the screen now. He's going to bump it up a little bit and make it full screen here. Now, you guys all have to remember, it's just Ellen and myself in the studio. We don't have like a major budget or anything. It's just us two. We don't have a camera crew. There he is. Yeah.
Right on. All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Marshall. So what time is it over there?
It's 10 after 10.
10 after 10. So hope it's not past your bedtime, man, because we're going to keep you on for about an hour and a half.
Well, I'll have to make do.
Right on.
Is everybody like, okay, everybody in chat, can you hear him? Like, sound off here. Let me know.
Okay. Right on. All right. Well, you know, we Skyped a couple of days ago just to make sure that we had the signal strength and everything was going good with your camera and our camera. And I told you basically the reason why we are having you on tonight. You know, we talk about everything here on the show. Illuminati, conspiracy theories, reptilian, aliens, the whole 9 yards, man. And Ellen has been talking about you.
More volume for Donald, okay?
Okay.
They sounded off. There's 100 and something people said too low.
Just on chat, okay. And Ellen has been talking about you, man, for a long time. He's been following you for over 4 years now. And he's been telling me, and I heard about you as well, and I, you know, in this show, I need some type of proof, all right, Donald, for me to even say, wait a minute, there's got to be something going on here. And I told you when I saw the tweet from Nicki Minaj, and then I did a little bit more research, and B.o.B, the rapper, and then somebody else did a tweet as well, and I said, okay, why would they? Matter of fact, I just showed Alan on BET's website, dude. B.o.B is talking about cloning centers on the BET website, Black Entertainment website.
Cool.
All right, that's on there. All right. Okay, so that's why I have you on tonight, because if they're going to put that stuff on there, then you know there's something to it.
They're ready for prime time.
Right.
A lot of people that are there are real scared to say anything about it.
Right.
Because, you know, it's kind of like forbidden to give up this secret, multiple secrets.
Right.
Well, kind of like bad things happen, though, don't they, for people to talk about it?
The worst things, yeah. They can, they can be killed in conventional ways, or they can be remotely killed from manipulating their clone bodies remotely. Or they can even just be rendered mentally impaired after a time, also by messing with their clones in ways. And it's been done with different people.
Okay.
Like, let's see.
Well, let's introduce everybody to you, because you know our fans. Like I said, this is a subject where we've been talking about the Illuminati for a long time.
He needs to be louder.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah.
Is that as loud as you can?
I got that full blast on this side. Can you talk a little bit louder for us?
I could try. I got this microphone headset in to make it sound
Oh,
a bit
okay.
better.
Let's see if Mr. Allen can. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank it on the master over here. Hold on. All right, go ahead and say something, Donald, for me.
Testing.
All right. Well, let's try that. Hope I'm not peaking over here. Let me look at the volume on our end here. Check 1 2 3. Check. All right. Check 1 2.
Check 1. Yeah. I mean. I guess that's as high as we could get him, guys.
Yeah. You know, I've got it pegged. Hold on here.
We got a lot of fans in the chat, Donald. Lots of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you guys loud and clear.
Okay. Well, let's hopefully we can like I said, I've got you peaked up pretty loud, so we'll see what happens there. Okay. Introduce everybody to you, Donald. How did you get involved in this cloning centers? How? I mean, start off from the very beginning, man.
Okay. Well, Donald Marshall. I first became involved with them when I was almost 5, probably at the end of my 4th year, being 5 years old. I opened up my eyes one day. I opened up my eyes one day and I was at this place. I was in looks like a small sport venue, like a hockey rink, but instead of ice in the center, there was dirt. Hockey boards all around, and people in the stands. I didn't know how I'd gotten there. I thought that I'd been kidnapped or something, that I'd been brought there, but it wasn't even me as my real body. It was me as a clone. Me. It's a different kind of clone, though. The clones people typically assume are what clones are. They're raised up from a baby, grown in test tube, and raised up from a baby, and it's a real slow process. But that's replication cloning. They can also do duplication cloning. Now, duplication cloning forms absolutely, almost totally identical copy of yourself. And they can activate these things while you are in REM sleep with what they call a consciousness trance.
But what I want to know, though, is why did they chose you, though? How did you get down there? Why did they chose you?
Well, they chose me because they wanted to use me for to be molested by rich old people.
Okay, but why you? Why not like me, or why not Alan, or why not my wife? You follow me? I mean, why is there something special about you?
No, they get all kinds of kids there. I was just one of them. I was a cute kid.
Okay, and how old were you when you went there?
Almost 5 or 5.
5 years old. Okay.
So they like them young, huh?
Oh yeah, they're pretty sick like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot to it though. There's a lot of factors as to why they get them there.
Okay.
It would take a while to tell you all of that, and that's just the psychology of a sick mind, right?
Right.
But then it also has to do with aliens as well. Aliens are pretty pervy. There's a bunch of different kinds, and there's a lot of lizard types, but there's more than one type of lizard type. I met them. They can talk, a lot of them, and it's really plain. It's very just, plain. They're just there sometimes. Like, they come out and talk, but they usually stay out of sight because everyone's nervous about them in the stands. See, what happened, how it got so weird with me is they brought me there to be used, but I would scream and cry and stuff, so I guess they felt bad for a minute, and they said, well, what else are you good for? I mean, can you sing or dance or anything? So then I started singing this song, just to, because, the original time I was there, I thought they were never going to allow me to escape. I'd seen their faces. They're not going to let me go. I'm going to be killed, right? And I thought that it was my real body that I was in, because it feels real. It was very clear. And, I sang this song, and someone famous ended up using it, and then they brought me back the next few nights and got me to keep on doing it. I did it more. I just had a good imagination and creativity for making songs, I guess. These melodies for songs. And then it got really out of hand. They just wanted me to keep on making songs, and at first they were impressed. But after making about 20 songs that could be used, then I just pretty much became like a machine for them to use. And it just progressed and kept on going, and then it's actually, by now, it's an absurd amount of songs now. They were using me for about 34 years now, to come up with songs. And the thing is, I was memory suppressed back then. They have the ability to allow people to remember their times there or not. Now, once they allow you to remember, which is usually they let people remember at around 30, like common street level members of this, they let them remember at 30. They call it the awakening. And so then you remember this duality that you've lived, and it's very clear. And yeah, the younger people that are rich Illuminati parents' kids, sometimes they get their memories released to them when they're younger than I was. But yeah, that was the main thing, making songs. And then they wanted me to come up with concepts for movies. They wanted me to sometimes give them advice and just anything. After the songs, they wanted to test me out, see if I was good with other things and everything, even interior home design, as absurd as that sounds. But just anything. And the main thing was songs. But the thing was, after I couldn't come up with songs anymore, I was having more difficulty just thinking them up out of the blue, out of thin air.
Now, one band is Megadeth.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do right now is I am going to show the cover of Megadeth, and it's up right now. That you're saying that is you on the cover of Megadeth's album?
It is. I had to pose for it.
Okay. So you've written songs for this band then?
Oh yeah.
All right.
And countless others.
Now, Alan was telling me that is that real blood on your shirt?
Oh no, that's like a painting of
okay.
of a picture.
Gotcha.
But that was actually taken at the cloning center. Like, thing is, as a footnote to that, when I couldn't come up with songs anymore, they tried to scare me with they're going to kill me, they're going to hurt me or something. And then after I still couldn't come up with songs, then they started to torture the clone of me, which feels just as real. And it affects you in real life. It can make you sick. So anyway, during this time, for this picture, well, at cloning, I have ended up looking like that countless times. But for that picture, it was faked. Like, for some reason, they wanted to take a picture of it with the camera, and then whoever made that picture, painted it, or rendered it with computers, he had to look at that picture and then go off of that, because I'd asked them to put my face on albums before, and they always said, no, we can't, that would be proof. And I always put little hints in the songs, in lyrics and stuff, wherever I could, and sometimes they would allow it, sometimes they wouldn't. But there's a lot of hints in songs about dreams and this and that, because it's not dreaming when you're at cloning. It's totally not dreaming. Illuminati members like that go to cloning, they don't have dreams anymore. They just go and walk around as clones there.
Now, I don't know how many interviews you do, but when you come out and say that you've written songs for these bands, like for example Megadeth, have they ever came back and told you to knock it off, stop saying that, or any of these other groups or artists?
You would think that they would, but they actually avoid me like the plague. And the thing is, some of them get angry at cloning. Like, sometimes the very same night. I'll open up my eyes there, I'll be down in the dirt arena, or I'll be sitting in the stands, and they'll just start talking. Like, I've met Dave Mustaine there. He knows all about cloning. He's been there, right in my face. He's actually beat me up there. Stabbed me and everything. There. But yeah, they never bother me. They don't want to come back and say anything, because then they'll have to open up the entire can of worms.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that, and no one's going to sue me or have me charged for slander or libel or anything like that, because they know it'll come back on them later.
Right. Now let's talk about these people that are down there being cloned. I mean, we're talking obviously rock stars to, famous people, actors, actresses. Why are they? Now we talk a lot here about aliens and Satan and the Illuminati selling your soul to get where you want to get in this business. We talk about a lot of the movie stars and rock stars, like an example, Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Rihanna, all those, and that they have to, that they sold their souls.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, and
they even come right out and say it, and say they're even like, when I'm singing, it ain't me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's what's her name, Mary Lou, and then they start speaking in a English accent and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. The thing is, the selling your soul thing, how it works, like a young woman will be cloned into there, and she'll be told, while memory suppressed, they'll find out if she's going to have ever any possibility of talking or trying to rat on them, right? And if she would, they won't unrepress her memory, and they won't promote and support her and sign her onto anything. That she'll just be left alone. But if she agrees, they say to her, okay, well, you have to basically sign this. So I've seen people sign an actual paper. They say you have to sell your soul. We'll make you really famous and stuff, and we get to bang clones of you here, but then your soul is sold. But they don't know, and as they're doing it, they don't know what it involves.
Right.
They classify your soul as being like your consciousness that gets transferred into the clone that is used there. Because a lot of these women, they don't care if they go there and have sex at first as clones with these whoever, because it's a totally separate body and they don't care. They're not getting hurt, but they don't know how long it's going to continue, which is a very long time. And they think that these crazy people talking about selling souls and stuff, they don't think that has anything to do with anything, and they think that they're just gonna, outsmart these superstitious religious people and sign just a nothing that doesn't involve anything.
Hence, you get a Nicki, or what's her name, Nicki Minaj. Then you get a Nicki Minaj tweet, where she's starting to realize, whoa, Yeah.
Well, there was another girl there, rapper named Kreayshawn, said something about cloning. She said, I've seen the cloning centers myself.
Right, and I think I'm going to go ahead and, I had that, I actually had that tweet on there too someplace. I showed it last week. Okay, so
they get in a lot of trouble though when they do that, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the very night, like this crazy girl Tila Tequila. She's pretty whack, but she is there. Like she did a little radio show, an impromptu improvisation. Like she was supposed to talk about something, evil nobility of this or that or something, and she's at cloning just about every night, getting used, right? And she doesn't want to be anymore, but they will give her, like, her little reality show she did, and promote her for tours for her music and stuff. But she didn't want to do it anymore, and she went on there, and as a surprise thing, she started talking about cloning centers, where all these kids are brought and used, and it happens like every night in this dirt arena. She was told all about it. But then, that very night when she went to sleep, turns out that we must have both went to sleep at around the same time and entered REM phase at around the same time, which is about an hour after you go to sleep, hour and a half, so they say. But they can only activate the clone of you there when you're in total REM sleep. And if you wake up in real life, your clone will drop limp to the floor.
Like
some
Avatar.
of the clones, their broken elbows, smash their heads off the concrete floor, so they always stay seated in the stands in case they ever wake up and they just fall over.
Okay,
and
so
they get stored on a rack.
Right now, for all those people who are listening right now and watching, obviously you're probably thinking, "Man, you guys are totally out there." But Donald Marshall is not the only one talking about this.
Yeah.
All right. If it was just him, and that is it, I would not have him on the show. I mean, that's the truth. I would not have you on the show. But there are more people now talking about this particular subject, and they're telling and they're giving your name, Donald. Like, you're the one who first started it. Now we're going to follow right behind you and spread the word. Is what they're doing.
And then there's the other thing, like the movies and the TV shows, and I mean, they talk blatantly, openly about cloning. I mean, Clone Wars, and I mean, like I was reading something a while back that you were talking about Star Wars, and how some of the lizards in there was the Vril. It's like, man, then I'm like a Star Wars. I play the games and everything, and oh my God, that made me believe you more than anything, because it is so, what would you say, out there in that movie. Like,
yeah,
it's amazing.
It's those long-necked aliens in the Star Wars movie. They would be a representation of a certain type of Vril. Vril, I call them Vril Type 3s. Everybody else calls them that too. But those are the best-looking kind of ones that you'll find. They would be young ones, but they get real ugly. Like, that's the best-looking ones you're ever going to find. They get really, really ugly. They end up looking like Pumpkinhead after a while, which is why they made Pumpkinhead look like Pumpkinhead. They put stuff into movies all the time, like, to pretty much because, well, sometimes they're flaunting their power and stuff. They can, put it out there and nobody does anything. But then other times they're desperate to get the help of the populace to have it questioned and stopped. Because the thing with me, how I can talk about it, they're not going to kill me because I've done like so many songs, right? And they said that it would be really strange to not have me around now, because they're really familiar with me now. Some of them said they're like really attached to me. They wouldn't want to kill me, but other people they will. Like, I thought they were going to kill me back in like 2012, but then, and they hinted that they would because they didn't want me to say certain things, but then I just said it all anyway, and then they said, well, we were never going to kill you. You're a very special person in the world. So everyone else is pretty much following along, the ones that are brave enough that are there.
Right. I mean,
to corroborate everything.
Right. Talking about this subject matter, who is going to believe you? When we're talking about this, I mean, really, when we're talking sci-fi stuff here, Donald, that I'm, when I turn on the Sci-Fi Channel or go, watch a movie in the theaters, this is the stuff that you're talking about. That's not supposed to be real, man. I mean, this is way far out there. But like I said, you're not the only one talking about it.
Yeah.
So that's what's tripping me out big time. And I know there's more to it than what people really know what's going on out there. I mean, there's a whole different world.
When you were talking about this, and I know, like, I've read everything you've pretty much put out, but and I know you've said it a million bazillion times. Okay, like the types, like they're like the clone types. Like you're talking about now, they're in a higher generation and they're better and they last longer or something like that.
Well, all technologies improve over time. Computers get smaller, cell phones, this and that. All of this stuff, even as whack as it sounds, sci-fi and everything, it's all just technology that they have.
Right.
They don't have magic or anything. Some of them that are superstitious like that, they like to believe there's something to it, but they have no magic. And all that occult witches and goblins stuff that they talk about and stuff, I've been shown so much, and I begged them to show me everything, because if there was any kind of powers to be had, I wanted them. But and they would do. But there's been nothing that I've ever seen. Only science and technology, which could be mistaken for some kind of magic, right?
Sure, like if you're like primitive, they would think an airplane is magic. You know what I mean? Like they would worship an airplane.
Yeah.
All right. So where are they getting all this technology from then?
Well, they got it. Well, they're getting some of it they found underground in Antarctica and back engineered a bunch of stuff. Like, Nazis found it. And then everybody started sharing it around, but there was different pockets of stuff around the world. Like, British people found some stuff under England in some spots, but there's different regions of different types of things. Like, there's even different kinds of these Vrils that don't even know about each other, and they don't even speak the same language to themselves. They talk in like clicks and gurgles and everything. But some of them are different colors too. Some of them have scales, like the type 1s have scales. But the ones under the Middle East have black scales. The ones under the British Islands are red scales. And they're pretty sick looking. I described them pretty well. They it's supposed to be what people would call a chupacabra. I could describe them well. I already have in other interviews, but they're a real problem. Well, let's see. They for to not beat around the bush or anything, they can literally body snatch people. It's a biological property of their body, and they can take people over and make them what's called a host, a human host.
Yikes.
Now, that's why that movie, The Host, was made. And there's different things like this movie called The Invasion. They're all over the place. In the past, people used to use them to replace people because how they do it, these lizards, I'll try to put it in a nutshell, these certain types of lizards that have the parasitical aspect of their biology, they have this thing in the top of their head that can eject out at one time in their life. It comes out and they can move it like a worm, kind of. Once this thing comes out, which is actually the internals of their spinal cord, once it comes out, it can't go back in, and the old lizard body will die. Now this wormy thing becomes everything that thing is. It's his brain and everything. And they put it into people's eyes. Now these things are small. They're like maybe, I've seen some that are 2 feet tall. And the thing that comes out is real small of their head. They can pin somebody down. This thing goes around the eyeball, and then spirals around the optic nerve until it gets to a certain spot in the brain, and then it excretes this parasitical cell compound from it, and it just takes over the brain cell by cell all over, and then they're messed up for like a month. They can't do much of anything. They have to lay in bed and force themselves to sit up and eat, but they get access to the person's memories and everything. Not all memories, though. That's another thing. Sometimes in some movies, like kids will ask their parents. Well, they'll have suspicions about their parents not being them anymore, and then they'll say, "Do you remember that time we took that trip to the Grand Canyon in grade 3?" But they never took that trip, and the parents in the movie will go, "Yeah, that was fun," and then they know, right? It's because they don't get all of the memories. They get a lot of them though, and they just continue to live. They get health problems. Some of them get their fingernails start going weird. They get rashy skin. They also get some kind of a thyroid problem, where the thyroid doesn't make this chemical that we all need, and they have to take something called Synthroid for like hypothyroidism or something, and most of them have that problem. But it's easy to medically test to see who is a host and who's not. It's like you'd need a blood test or something, but it's very obvious.
Now,
but there's a lot of them. They're in the government and everything.
Okay. Now, there are a lot of people that go missing, all over the world.
I was thinking that too. Like we interviewed a guy. I don't know if you're familiar. His name is David Pleiades, and he has these books called Missing 411, and mostly it's children, and they have certain criteria, that in order to get in his book, but it would be like around Yosemite National Park, all these different places that he's noticed, like clusters, areas where children come up missing. And I mean, it could be like a family outing, and the kid gets just out of sight, and then bam, gone, right? And
you know what?
Yeah, and I think that what you're talking about might shed a lot of light on this.
Well, there's a few different things that happens. The things that I've seen, like I've seen a couple of these kids that have gone missing, and what happens to them? Well, they get taken to be used for sex underground, of course, by either aliens or clones that are in this place, or real people that manage to get to these bases and go down to, mess with them. Some of them, they get eaten, though. They get literally eaten. Not by people, well, sometimes, but by aliens and stuff. They get eaten, literally eaten. Sometimes they just drain the blood out of them. Sometimes they eat the solids too. But see, some of the aliens, their favorite parts of solids, for the ones that do eat solids, some just drink blood, but the ones that eat solids, their favorite is brains and pancreas. They told me before themselves, they said pancreas to them tastes like cantaloupe.
Whoa.
Like, totally. Their sense of taste is so much different than ours.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, bad smells good to them. Like, they even like human excrement. It tastes like candy to them, depending on what the person's been eating. Yeah, they eat it. To them, it smells like flowers. Really, it's pleasant. They like it. It's like a treat to them.
I heard they get like a buzz off of like they scare the kid, right?
Oh yeah,
something like that, right? They scare him and then get a buzz.
Well, the thing is, you can do that with other people too. But when people get scared, and animals and stuff, like they put out adrenaline, adrenal glands, and then this does something through the blood that makes it taste richer to them. And thing is, the reason they go to eat kids a lot is because kids don't have as many vaccinations, because some of these vaccinations can make them sick, and kids aren't smokers. They don't like the blood of smokers because it tastes, to them, they said it does taste like an ashtray or something in with the blood.
Sweet. I'm gonna start smoking.
Yeah, and they get a strange effect from the adrenaline. It gives them like a buzz. Like, some of them have called it bliss. They call it bliss, is the word for the blood with the adrenaline in it.
When they clone somebody, what exactly do they take from the host itself? Just blood, DNA, and that's it, or tissue, or?
Well, back in the past, it had to be tissue, but and then they would have to agitate the tissue. They said it was very, very simple. That you agitate the tissue a certain amount, and then it's just sets to multiplying the cells. Like, they told me themselves, the best way to explain it is, you have a hangnail on your finger. You pull that hangnail off, and a clear liquid inside starts to form, and then eventually new skin over it, might scab over or something, right? And then new skin and everything. That's white blood cells, right? The healing part. Well, when they get the piece of tissue in the past and agitate it a certain amount of times, they put it in this other liquid, like petri dish, and it just sets to healing and healing and healing and healing. And after a time, after they monitor it, it can make an entirely another person, but they have to manipulate it a bit, make sure that the bones are going to go straight and stuff. I'm not sure of it. I'm not like a biologist or anything, but it's not like it's not as complicated as people would think. They said it's very simple, actually.
Wow. Well, the technology
And it doesn't even cost that much, just the maintenance, because it just grows by itself. You know.
So, you know, we've been talking about the cloning thing now going on for about 3 weeks now since we wanted to get you on, and people have been doing their research and finding things on their own. Friend of ours, Eddie, he actually sent me over a YouTube video, and this YouTube video, anybody, you know, I would place the video on the screen right now, but I don't want to take a chance and get anything lost. I don't want to lose anything, but I'm going to play you the audio. You guys can go to YouTube and just Google Katy Perry Get Slimed. Now, everybody who watches this show knows that I have something for Katy Perry. Even my wife knows, but you know, they're at the Nickelodeon Awards, right? And Katy Perry and Jonas, God, I forgot his name. His first name is Jonas, I think. Are up, and they're going to present the award to somebody. But listen to what Jonas said, and you're going to be able to hear it. Listen to this.
Birthday boy. Okay, I lied. It's not really my birthday. In fact, I have a confession to make to you guys.
What?
I've never told anybody this before in my life. It's kind of a sensitive subject. I was born without a birthday.
Wow, that's really weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I know, I'm a birthdayless freak. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry I lied. I think it's only fair that you open the box and reveal the winner.
Okay, that is just weird for him to say. I was born without a birthday. And that
sounds like cloning.
Yeah, it sounds like cloning, and it just so happens that he happened to be standing right near to Katy Perry, who has said a couple of times that she has sold her soul. All right, and anybody can go and watch this on YouTube. Just you know, search Katy when Katy Gets Slimed at the Nickelodeon Awards, and hear him say that. You know, they're giving us hints, aren't they, Donald? Everywhere,
all the time.
All
It's
the
like
time,
a funny
right?
little pastime.
Now, but and you said the reason is because they just want to throw it in our faces and say, hey, we're doing this behind your backs, or actually in front of you, and we're hinting. Is it because they want to condition us, or is it just because they're just having fun with us, or are they supposed to tell us?
It's two reasons. One, sometimes these people are literally a host, or there's even more. There's a way to cheat death and continue life as a clone too. But the people that do that, they don't want it to be found out about. They want Illuminati to continue, the cloning centers to continue, right? So they throw it out in the faces to show off, and then they'll all talk about it at cloning later on and laugh about it and people's reactions. But then there's other people, like Katy Perry. I've talked to her so many times at cloning. I helped her make songs there.
Well, hey man, you got to tell her to come on the show.
Yeah. She might not even be your actual human being, dude.
I don't care. No, I'm just saying by phone or by Skype. We'll talk about it behind the doors, all right?
Well, the second reason is that's pretty much the only way that someone would be permitted to talk without being punished for it. And the people that don't want to be there anymore, that are hoping for some kind of rescue, they can put out these hints in a hope against hope that someone is going to put the pieces of the puzzle together and en masse demand to know what's happening, you know, from the government or military or whatever. But it has to be done in large numbers, because these people seem pretty hopeless, because it's such a powerful thing. And they're kind of all dependent on me, all these desperate people that want out,
right,
want their souls back, right? They want me to be successful, but they know I'm going to be pretty mad because I got tortured there a lot, and you know, it has affected me, but I'm still alive, and gave me bad health effects.
Sure, let's talk about that. You know, you've been out there spreading the word, but you're not making any money. You're not writing books. You're not, you know, you're not doing any of that. You're not getting. We're not compensating you for this show tonight. And it's like you're out there telling people what you say is going on, and you know, you might, and if this is for real, which a lot of people seem to think it is, and so far, you know, you got some proof backing you up, man. You know, that you can easily be taken out, dude. And obviously you told us why and why not, possibly, maybe, but you know, you're not making trillions of dollars in, you know, doing interviews, because you're not. I have never seen a book.
Like you're not Alex Jones, you know what I mean? But only you haven't changed your story. You've kept going through, and probably have paid for it a little bit more than what you would like.
Oh yeah. They punished me for saying things that they didn't want me to say. Then they told me, we'll get you way worse if you say any more, and I just do anyway. And like, it's hard to put it all into words because it was such a long time, right? After they had been torturing me to come up with these songs, or else, right? Then it became, well, there's nothing to do at cloning actually either. Like, after you do the death sports, sword fighting, and there's a lot of sex and stuff going around there. After all that, it really loses the novelty really, really quick. And then you're just sitting there. You see, the celebrities, people like to talk to the celebrities and say hi and everything, but they run out of material to talk about. And that's it. Like, little meet and greet with so many different people, and I mean, they're all there. Like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, they're all there. Lady Gaga, they are all there. They all sit around next to each other in the stands. And then there's ground level people that aren't famous, that some of them are rich people, some of them aren't. Then there's all the politicians that are there. And the thing is, the torturing stuff, they started, when I couldn't come up with songs for a time, they would replace that time, because I was kind of like a spectacle there. They were all literally in awe of how I could come up with these songs. And I don't even know how I did it, but did. And let's see, they started to have me in like a torture spectacle. They would like strap me up to a cross, chain me up to a poster, hang me by the arms with cables from the ceiling of this big sports venue looking place. Then they would like torture me, and they would just sit there and watch me screaming. And they were all, well, some people were into it. They were like, oh, that's cool, we're so powerful, nobody can do anything to us. But then the other people that didn't actually like it, they have to play along like they do like it, or else they're going to be looked down upon by the rest, or they won't benefit by being promoted and endorsed. Or people would maybe suspect that they might try to talk or something, and then who knows what's going to happen to them. Like a good example is Chris Benoit, the wrestler. He supposedly, well, he did. He took out his wife and child, and then himself. But that was all due to cloning. Like, he didn't just go insane or anything. He was trying to prevent his family from going there to get tortured. He tried to tell people about it too. He's like, but he didn't know what it was. He said, okay, somehow I'm getting blapped into an alternate reality or another dimension or something, and people are killing me there, and there's aliens there, and I'm not crazy. Nobody believed him. That's another thing about Tila Tequila. I wish I could find this video, but it's not anywhere that I can find it anymore. Before she had her aneurysm that time, which is what they did it. If you have a constant electric shock applied to your clone, you will have a heart attack or an aneurysm eventually. Depending on how old you are, faster if you're older, you'll die faster. But Tila went on video at some point, and she said, "Yeah, you guys got to help me. I'm being zapped into another dimension somehow. I don't know how. When I'm sleeping, and Queen Elizabeth is there. She sometimes eats people there, and there's demons, which she means aliens, like because demons are aliens. That's just another word for them. They have lots of names." But then she had an aneurysm through the night there, that same night. But she uploaded that video, or was it 2 nights after that? I don't know, but that was the cause. But then after that, she survived, only because they let her survive. And then after that, she didn't say much or anything for a long time, until the Clone Center radio show that she put out, which was really cool. But after that night, they got her there and said, "What the hell are you doing?" Right? And she goes, well, Donnie says it, he's going to be fine." I said, "You're not Donnie, though." And then they said, "This guy wants to talk to you about this." So this big Vril Type 3 comes stomping out, those long-necked ones. But this one was older and more ugly, and it came out and it screamed in her face, like she was down standing in the dirt. And it came up to her, 2 or 3 inches from her face, nose to nose, and just started screaming in her face. And it's pretty freaky. Mind you, she didn't, scream or cry or anything. It was very impressive. Her hair was flying back. The thing's breath, it's like, rah, right, screaming in her face. It went on for a while. And she just stood there and stared at it. I was impressed. Those are things that are very, very scary. Like, imagine Pumpkinhead from that movie, the horror movie Pumpkinhead.
Right.
This thing was right in front of her face, screaming, and she just stood there. And, well, she looked scared, but she didn't let it show or anything. I was impressed.
Wow.
I watched it. I sat in the stands and watched it when it happened.
How long, how long has this been happening? We know about it's happening now, but I mean, how far back? Does this go all the way back to Egyptian days and prior to Egyptian days? I mean,
well, they were in Egypt, ancient Egypt times, yeah. They've always been around. Vrils and other different things, they've always been around. And flying saucers and all that, that's nothing new. It's an old thing. Made better with modern technology, like a gyro. What they put in the Segways, so Segways will stay up and stable.
Right.
They started putting those in UFOs too, because UFOs in the past, they would be kind of floppy, and they would go, they didn't have very much horizontal stability. But now with including a gyro in it, it'll be pretty stable. Well, I knew from what they were telling me and from what they showed me, because I made them prove everything to me. And I never ever assume or guess or have theories of my own, because if I'm ever wrong, it's not going to be good. So I only ever really mention things that I know for certain are true. Because, if it was ever wrong, it'd be a recipe for disaster with what I'm trying to do here, which is all good. My intentions are pure. Like, as you said, I'm not looking for financial gain or even fame.
Okay, my next question. Since you were talking about aliens and demons.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about supernatural religion here. We talk about religion here on this show. So where do you? Okay, where I'm going with this is Satan, Lucifer, the devil. Are aliens from outer space, or are these aliens have always been underground, or are there aliens visiting us as well? Are there more than one?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, I was raised Catholic, baptized and everything.
And I told you I was too.
The thing is, the Pope is at cloning. The ex-Pope is at cloning. There's bishops at cloning. There's cardinals from the Vatican that are at cloning, like a lot of them. And they sit around. Some of them participate in nasty things, just from what I've seen. Maybe all of them do. I've only seen a few doing things, but they all sit around. They all get told what to do. They know all about aliens. They've spoken to them there. There's ones from underground. There's a lot of stuff underground. Like, I'm not certain of everything that's down there, though, because I haven't been down there. Like, I've been in bases and stuff, but I never ran around in caverns and hollow earth or anything. But they say that that's what it's like, but, you know, I'd have to have things proven to me before I believe anything. But I didn't know, but there are things from space, too. A lot of the aliens are lizard in biology, but there's like, I've met like 6 or 7 different kinds that are just lizard kind. But the thing is, there's birds and lizards are very closely related, and there's a certain kind, these Anunnakis, right? They have different names too, draconians and everything. Some of them are like half bird, half lizard. Like, this is what David Wilcox was saying, that he was going to lie too. He never ever comes back at me and tries to say that, you know, I'm making this up about him. Me and him met there. We spoke. Like, I spoke to many of these truthers, and there's a lot of them there. They wanted me to be all down in this plan where, well, some of them want to do the right thing and tell the truth about everything, but they'd be killed, right? And, well, a lot of them have seen aliens. Like David Wilcock has seen this really, really tall lizard bird type that says that his name is Amon Ray. People think that I thought it was Amon Ra my entire life. It's not. He told me himself, it's Ray. And I told him, I'm like, it sounds so much cooler being Ra, though. He goes, it's Ray, though. He doesn't have much of a sense of humor.
Is that the bird one that you see in the what is it, like the blue, the head of a bird and a body of a...
Oh, yeah, that's not an accurate depiction. I should have had like maybe some pictures done or something, but there's an accurate picture of him himself and other ones. There are these ancient Sumerian rock carvings that are really, really detailed, and they look just like that. Now, mind you, some of them look more bird and some of them look more lizard, and some of them are a mix of the two. Like, some of them have like a big beak like that, but some of them have like a elongated snout with like a small little beak on the end. It looks really weird. They used, and when they get old, because they live way longer than humans, because lizard physiology lives longer, like when they get old they get really, really ugly. And the thing is, they're ashamed of their appearance, right? They even put some old ones, what old ones look like, in the movie called The Dark Crystal, with that Jim Henson made.
Oh, I remember that.
Those Skeksis.
Yeah.
They end up looking like those Skeksis. Their feathers come out, they fall out, and the gravity is hard on them. They get all stooped over like that, and they look just like that when they're old. Wow. Some worse than others. But they put different stuff in movies all the time. There's something that kind of resembles a Vril Type 1, the Slee Stack or something.
Oh man, I was just, dude, I was just thinking down the lot. I was going to bring it up to you right now.
Yeah, they got those pointy things in the middle of their head. That's
right.
Supposed to be like Representative Proboscis thing that comes out that goes in people's eye.
Oh my God.
By the way, that's why they cover up the eye. By the way, there.
Oh,
See,
the Illuminati eye.
The eye covering thing the Illuminati does, and then they go, shh.
Yeah.
Now you know the reason they're doing that. It's like, don't get the thing in your eye, and shh, don't tell anybody you know about the things that stick the things in your eye, because you might get a thing in your eye.
Man, there's a movie star that he did a movie and his eye was all jacked up.
Yeah.
Man, what was his
Nicolas
name?
Cage?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, and
Yeah, he had to do the entire movie with one of his eyeballs like blown out from a gunshot wound or something.
Right, yeah.
Now the reason he did that, it's not even like
he
that
hasn't
anymore.
been the
So
same.
maybe he's a clone all the time now. But when they do this, when the Vril Type 1 take over a person and do that in the eye, sometimes, not every time, sometimes it makes the eye, well, the brain and back of the eye swells, right? And then sometimes permanently one of the eyes will become a little bit bugged out and more pronounced than the other one, which happens sometimes to people anyway. Sometimes some people just aren't totally symmetrical.
Right.
But
Cosby,
with him, his eye was bulged out. Like, he couldn't have been able to do the movie like that. And so they came up with that and did that. But it's
I had a couple of things in chat. There's somebody, they were saying in these centers there's dead stars, like people that's been dead, like the Beatles, and there'll be the live Beatles and the dead Beatles, and they're there, right?
Yeah.
Are the dead ones are they clone, like say Elvis or something? Are they the clone of Elvis or the Beatle or Michael Jackson or whatever? Or are they just?
That's the third important aspect and topic of what I wanted to tell you guys. There's a way to cheat death, but it's flawed. They discovered this, like billionaires, even in ancient Egyptian times, they wanted to figure out how to cheat death, live forever, because billionaires can't take their money with them.
Right. Yeah.
So they wanted to live forever. So a bunch of billionaires got together, hired on like 10,000 scientists, and got them to figure out how to perfect this cloning stuff so they could live again. But living in a clone is not as good. You're not mentally stable as a clone. That's why they have these handlers, babysitters, right? So they don't freak out. And but there's something else they figured out. Well, you must have heard people saying they have microchips in their heads and stuff.
Right, Chiphead.
Like one of this people, what was her name? Crazy girl movie star said something about she got a chip in her head. Well, a bunch of them did, really. And it's true. But there's different kinds of chips. There's not only one chip. There's different chips with different functions. And the most important one that they got is what they call the Soulstone chip. Now, they can record your consciousness, everything that you are. Basically, they can record it on this microchip, size of an apple seed. Now, they can take this chip, and what they used to do is drill a hole in the back of a person's head, and then put the chip on a stainless steel rod, and have a rangefinder and like a half compass so they can tell the angle and everything. And they go into us, they push it in through the back of the head, through that drilled hole, through the brain tissue, which is brain damaging, obviously.
Right.
And then it gets to a certain depth, and then the chip is left there. And then they just get like a remote control, like the one you would see from like a TV or something, it looks like. They point that at the person and press a button. Well, they then become that person. Like, they can body snatch that way. Just in a different way than what I was telling you about the lizards that body snatch.
Right.
This is a technological way to body snatch, and the other one is a biological. But they do this. The thing is, for some reason, they stopped going in through the back of the head. Now, what they can do, you must have wondered. People come out and they say, I'm chipped. I've been chipped. But they don't know how. Well, it happens in hospitals, even. People that go under anesthetic, sometimes they have their eyeball taken out. And it comes out and it's still attached. It's hanging off with the optic nerve that goes in and connects it, right? They can take it right out, and it's out. But then they put that chip on a rod, and then behind the eye they find the rangefinder to go back there, and they just push it right in through your eye guts. the eye socket, and it goes into the brain from that angle, and then you don't have a little bald dot in the back of your head, or a hole in your skull. And I think the distance to travel is shorter too, to get to like the thalamus or the hypothalamus area of the brain that it has to get to. But that also, well, then they put your eyeball back in, and you wake up after your appendicitis or appendectomy, or to get your tonsils out or whatever. You wake up and your eye hurts. And you say, "Oh my God, what's wrong with my eye? My head hurts so bad." And then they say, "Well, it's just a side effect of the anesthetic." And what do you know, right? You know no better.
I don't know if you've heard this before, but in a lot, we do like alien abduction things, talk to people and stuff that have been abducted. Yeah. And one of the things that is like happens a lot is they talk about while they're abducted, they have their eye pulled out.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe they're not being abducted.
I can tell you about what most alien abductions are. Well, they clone people in while they're asleep, and people, it's very real to people, and they get messed with. A lot happens when they get brought. It's like horror movie porn to them. There's a large archive of video of people being cloned in and strapped down to a table and messed with by, well, sometimes they actually are aliens, but some of the other times it's just people with really, really good masks. Hollywood quality. They've even, as I've written before, they even get chicken skin, dye the chicken skin gray, and stretch it over a wooden mask that will make them look like a big gray alien, right? And it looks very ultra realistic. Hollywood quality, like horror movie prop stuff. And the thing is, they're still safely in their beds at home. They were never taken. Like some people, they set up a camera to watch them sleep because they figured they were getting abducted, taken out of their house, teleported even. They don't know how that was happening. They didn't even know it was clones. They thought it was their real body because it feels real. It was very clear. It'd be very easy to get fooled that way. So they set up a camera. They go to sleep. Blink. They get zonked into the cloning center. Consciousness transfer into the clone. And they're like, "Oh, good. I got the camera set up though. Whatever happened, I'm going to see it when they bounce me back." They go back and they were sleeping in their bed the entire night, of course, right?
Right.
And then they can't explain it. But now you know.
Now, is there like a machine they have whenever they take your conscious? Who's the guy controlling that thing, or how they do that?
They have it pretty down now. When the clones aren't being used, like remember I told you they go limp and fall.
Right, like Avatar.
They get dragged out of the auditorium and taken below on a dolly, or just somebody throws somebody over their shoulder and takes them down to the racks. The racks are like multiple stainless steel bunk beds, sometimes 5 high, and they're all around. It's like a giant vampire crypt or something. There's all these bodies laying there.
Wow.
Well, I don't even know how the things live because they even when not in use, they still breathe shallow and the heart still beats and stuff. Now, when not in use, they put a tube down the clone's throat, a feeding tube, and you get fed this beige nutritional supplement, right? And when they come out, when they wake up and stuff, like when I've opened up my eyes there, they've already done it for me, and sometimes I'm clothed and already out somewhere, sitting somewhere, and then they activate me. But what they do on the rack, there's like a bunch of lights, and if the light is green, it means that this person is in full REM sleep right now and can be activated. So they go over, just like a TV remote control looking thing, look over and they point it at them and press a button. Usually they have one designated to just that person, tuned in on just them. and then the person just goes, looks around, and like me, I say, "Ah, damn, I'm in this place again." But some of them are so used to it, and some of them like going there and hanging around there. They're so used to it, they pull this transparent tube right out of their mouth, and they hop off the bunk, and they're like, "So, what are we doing tonight?" And then they walk out. They're naked too. Sometimes they don't even care. Not bashful. They have no shame really at all. But they're depending on me to do as much as I can to expose this and put an end to it.
Right.
Because I'm like one of the only ones in the world, maybe the only one in the world, that they won't outright kill. Because I've done so much stuff. Like you must assume he means a lot of songs, right? But it's actually 10 times more than what you even are thinking. It was a ridiculous amount of songs. And other things too, like just ideas for movies, concepts, and toy ideas, video game ideas, designs for different things. Man, so much stuff that if I even said all, it would sound absurd.
More outrageous, yeah. Yeah, but you know, like they kind of ripped you off. I mean, like
kinda.
They could have gave you like 10% of it. Like I would say, you know what? I'll shut up if you give me 50%.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
something
then
like that.
they'd all be pissed off because I didn't know it, but they want me to do this.
Right.
But
They want me to succeed.
Now, why do they want you to succeed, though? I mean, if I was the Illuminati, I mean, I would prevent you from doing this interview tonight that we're doing. I mean, I would have stopped you somehow.
Well, I did one a little while ago, and a few of them didn't want me to do it, and I did it anyway, and then they ended up beating me up and stabbing me a few times out there. Which, what it does to you in real life, if they did it consistently, like all the time, you'd die. You'd have a heart attack or an aneurysm. That's why it works with the electricity, because that's constant on you. But with me, they were just doing that as like a deterrent to get me to not mention some things and maybe leave a few things out. But I don't do that. I just, tell it all. And, they try to act like they're angry and punish me and stuff, but it seems like most of the time they're trying to look for an excuse to harm me anyway, because there's nothing to do there. And it's an activity, like a spectacle, torture show type of thing.
Right.
It's
Now,
pretty sick.
now these underground bases. We have underground bases all over the world. Are our military, like for example, we live in Fresno, California. All right, that's where we're from, and I believe there are several underground bases here. Okay,
Yeah,
and a lot of people go missing here in the mountains just east of us.
Yeah, they're right down there.
And I've had people way before we even knew you existed. I'm talking like 2001, 2002. There are, if you go Google, like the Madera area, you'll actually some people actually wrote in some articles about underground caverns and reptilian, dude. All right.
Yeah, I heard a few.
And that's why I'm tripping out, because this was brought to my attention long before I knew you existed on reptilians underground.
And nobody believed them.
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, people might have believed them, some people, but what is one person supposed to do? Right. I understand that.
Yeah.
Some people are afraid.
Sure. So these underground reptilian race that live underneath us. We've heard about that a lot, and it just blowing me away that I don't know. It's hard. I'm listening to you, Donald, and it's like, man, it's like I want to believe so bad, but I'm thinking back to what Nicki Minaj and B.o.B. Why would those guys risk their lives their professionalism, where they're at right now, to even say something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm tripping out. I mean, these guys are making millions of dollars, Nicki and B.o.B, and they're very famous people, and all of a sudden they are talking about cloning centers.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I've gotten into talking to Bob every once in a while now. Thing is, before I talked to him, I thought he's must be allowed to. They are going to allow him to say it for some reason, either to corroborate me, to help me, or just to maybe make them more famous or something.
Well, see,
but
that's
Nicki Minaj erased her tweet there. She erased it.
Right. Now, see, that's just it, though. It's like, what would be the sole purpose of letting you and B.o.B, the rapper, continue talking about cloning centers?
Yeah, but what if money isn't everything? You know what
Well,
I mean?
well, it's not money.
You have all the money and fame and glory, but only then every night they're raping you.
Well, I realize that.
Like, how long before nothing would matter to you except for getting away from the raping? Or
not even just the raping, the things that they have to witness, the horrible, gory details of watching people being murdered and stuff, because it's not only just clones that get killed there. Sometimes they get a real person down there and watch them grim faces of death spectacle.
Wow.
Like
and then
little
eat
kids
them.
too, right? And some people that are at cloning, they are religious, and they can't be down with that, but they would expose it, but it's probably going to mean their life. And other people have already tried to do that and died. Like some guy named Phil Schneider.
Yeah.
He was telling the truth. I didn't even know about this guy, and I didn't even know he was dead. I tried to write him and said, "Dude, I know all about that stuff too. You're there." And he told all about it. He said, "Down underground, there's these things." I was a geologist expanding an underground base. I went down there and they were all there, and I had to get out of there. The thing was, they allowed him to see that. Where he was expanding the base to, they knew that those caverns were full of Vrils, and they wanted them to be seen. And then they wanted him to go out and talk about it, which he did, but to very little effect, right? People just didn't believe him. Lizard aliens on the ground, really? Right? That's why I was a little bit discouraged when I was first going to start doing this. So I thought they were going to kill me right away, but I'll do one big shebang and hope that it, helps the Earth. Right. That was my prime motivation, do the right thing as a human being, which I'm still doing.
Wow.
And
you're not scared? I mean, obviously, do you have a family? Do you have, are you married? Do you have any kids?
Just about all of them are all dead. But a lot of them were at cloning too. Like, my mother sold me out to this place. Basically sold my soul to hell. She just died like 5 years ago or something. Lung cancer and stuff. But, I don't miss her. But she was at cloning too. And she's telling me, and I was like, I don't know who you people are. I don't have to do what you're saying. Like, I know that because I would get killed there as a kid sometimes. But then I would wake up the next day, not remember it, and I would think I didn't remember what I dreamt the night before. It would just be all black. I didn't think anything of it. I went to school. But then the next time I was at cloning, I started to figure it out, because I didn't know what a clone was at like 5 and 6 years old, of course. And, these days with the advent of Star Wars and stuff, all the kids know what a clone is now.
Yep.
But I didn't back then. But then I would recall the previous time I was there, and I got stabbed to death and died. Everything faded to black and died. But here I am again, and there's no stab wounds in this new clone. And I am not dead. There's not a scar either. So, and I didn't know how they were doing it. I thought that it was magic or something when I was that young. But then I started to realize they can only do so much to me here. Even if they were to kill me as a clone at this place, which I didn't know it was a clone, I'm like, I'm just going to live anyway, just like the last couple of times, and come back anyway. And so then I started getting a little saucy there and defiant, and they liked that. They thought that was cool. They thought it was brave. They were impressed. But yeah. So then I figured out over the years what it was. I used to see all the clones are dumber. Nobody's clone is as smart as their real anchor person. They call it an anchor in the world that you draw the consciousness from while they're in REM sleep. Now, everyone at cloning is a little dumb, me included, to a certain degree. And some of them would be so immature, they'd tell me they could do something with a really wacky technology. And I'd say, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you. And they go, oh yeah? We'll show you. And they did. They would. They showed me all kinds every time, and then they would show me, and I'd say, wow, that is amazing. And they said, yeah, we told you it's real. Like a little kid, you know? Like they were little kids, like, oh, we told you so, right? So weird. The whole place is weird. But, yeah, it's pretty, really scary horror movie stuff there.
Right.
Pervy.
So let's talk about some famous movie stars who have recently either died mysterious ways or are being attacked by, for example, Bill Cosby. All right.
Yep.
The Illuminati. I know the Illuminati is after him for a certain reason. I think he's coming out and he's talking against, our government. There are people who have died, like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. What were the reasons why they died? Did they want to get out?
Different reasons for each one of them, really. I'm familiar with each one. Well, for one thing, did you see Bill Cosby's eye?
Yeah.
Not pretty.
No.
And it might just not be anything to do with that, but hey. He's been at cloning. Michael Jackson's been at cloning. I used to talk to him when I was a little kid. I thought it was really cool at first, but until I realized what he's like and what he's supposed to be, Michael Jackson isn't even dead. His body died, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you about in sequence. Let's see, the Bill Cosby thing. He supposedly did it. They said this there. He was, giving them pills and stuff, and, that's... A lot of people have done that in the past. He's just high-profile person that got caught with it. But it's not like they're trying to mess him up or something. It's just that he got caught up by multiple people or something, and they can't make it go away. So, but they like him there. Now, Michael Jackson, he wanted to die. He wanted to go to the next body of some kind because he was doing this stuff called Propanol, this injectable painkiller of some kind, and I guess it's really good feeling, but he was doing it all the time, like every day, and it started to mess him up. It gave him premature arthritis because he would lay around all day getting this stuff, and it messed him up, and he didn't want to get old anyway, and he supposedly, from what they told me, and from what I saw, although that could have been a trick of using clones, that wasn't even a real nose. He had this psychosis about his nose being big, which it was, but and he couldn't get a nose job because for some reason his nose holes, they'd have to really chop them up. But he reduced it in size, reduced it, but then after a while it started getting all messed up, so it was just removed. Now, he had a hole there. It was just a cavity, like what you would see on a skull or something. What it was a rubberized, realistic looking plug nose that would go on. It was like a clip-on nose. And then he had a hole, like you could see the incision all the way around. And he would fill that up with putty and makeup and stuff and walk around like that. But it was not even a real nose. It was cosmetic attachment, prosthetic. Now, he's still alive though. Like his body died. Michael Jackson's body died, but he's still running around. He's back in the next body. He's supposed to be over in like Bahrain or Dubai or something in the Middle East somewhere. Whitney Houston. What do I know about her? Let's see. I remember the night she was there. She was all frantic in the middle of the dirt, and I was sitting in the stands this night, which is, better than being down in the dirt arena down there. And everybody was laughing and yelling and pointing at him, and I was like, what's going on? And I don't know, they think I'm a real big deal because all the songs, everybody likes at least a few of them because there's so many of them, right? And so I was like, what's this? What's going on? And somebody said, she's in trouble. She doesn't want to do music anymore. She doesn't want to go on the stage anymore at all. And I'm like, so? Let her retire. I don't know, she's getting old, isn't she? And I seen her back when I was a little kid too. I helped her with making songs. And at first, she was nice. But then, just like how it goes with most of them, they start getting mean over time with money and fame and stuff. They turn into like a different person. Well, she was all frantic and everything, and I was like, calm down. I was like, well, not like you're going to kill her or something. And then everybody goes silent. Like, the whole place is filled. It's like a mini stadium, this thing. Small sports venue, like dog and pony show. And she's like, they might kill me because I don't want to do this stuff. And I said, well, you're a human. Who cares? I mean, you're not an alien, so who cares? Because I don't give a damn about an alien. Like a parasited host human, I don't care about those things. Kill them all, right? They don't like I say that, but oh well, it's truth. Most people don't care about those things. A parasited host is a host. Everybody knows what a host is. And it's not a symbiotic relationship. It's nothing is left of the previous human. Previous human is dead. But then they said that she wasn't even actually a human. She was, something weird. And I was like, oh well, I don't care. And then everybody laughed, and she was all frantic and stuff. And I was like, what are you telling me about this for? I don't care. And anyway, then she ended up dead. They never did anything to her that night from what I could see. But then, like, days following later, see on the news, oh, she's dead now. And I was like, wow, I guess it was true then. But they have done this. Like, what's that other one? Her name, from the Fugees, Lauryn Hill. She was all for going to cloning and doing what they do there, as long as she made money and got famous, right? After she did, she wanted out then, and but they don't let people go, and so she started crying all the time when she was there. I can't be in this. I don't want to be in this anymore. I didn't know what it involved when I said that I would join, and so she's crying and everything, and that it was like a downer to them. She really made quite a spectacle of herself, crying and the snot hanging out of her face, everything. It was really pathetic looking. And so then she made this song called I Get Out. You guys hear about that? It was like really tugged at the heartstrings, right? Well, she's like, I get out, and I forget the rest of it. But she whined about it so much at cloning, they eventually let her get out. It was rare. It was just because they didn't want to hear it, see it anymore. Like, she went on and on and on. So they just let her leave.
Do they have any plans for, like, to take over completely and let everybody know, like, come above board with it and make it a known thing, or they just want to keep themselves secret forever?
No, they want it to come out, but there's a lot of factors to it, right? Because you got all the hosts and stuff, and people are going to want to wipe them across the planet. And it might be what these FEMA coffins are for, And, I'm all for that, wipe the hosts. But then there's also dead people on Chip that are either in a clone or they've stolen someone's body with the chip, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what's going to happen to them, and they don't want to be regarded as a host and wiped right along with the host. And they don't know how they're going to be treated once that's known. And also the people that have been doing all these disgusting things to people, torturing people for sport, and, raping children, they know that that's going to be known about eventually, because once it's safe to talk about, it's going to be a giant rat fest. Everybody's going to be ratting on each other. Nobody likes each other there. They don't hang and stuff. They go there and they act like they're friends with each other, but they don't hang. Like, they're not friends with each other. They're embarrassed. They don't like to even look at each other in the face in real life, because they know what they've been up to and what they've been doing. But they don't want stuff to be known that they've done either. Like, I've detailed individual actions and events that have been there, and then I go to cloning and they're all mad at me, like Beyonce or something. And it's just, why did you say that about me? You just ruined my life. And I'm like, I don't know, you shouldn't mess with me. And they're not going to kill me, so there's only so much they can do. But they can't deter me, because I already got tortured a bunch, and it was looking like I was going to die anyway back in 2012. So I pretty much was resigned to the fact that I was doomed. Right? I accepted it. I thought, I'm dead. I'm dead. Other people get killed. They're probably going to kill me for sure. So, I'll do what I can. I'll be remembered well as a hero in the future, and at least the stuff will be stopped.
Right.
And maybe I can avoid having myself brought back after death for God knows what.
And you're still alive.
Yeah, it would suck.
Look, I remember.
They got this thing, if they really hate someone, it's like the band name of the same name, Megadeth. They can do something. It's another deterrent for even brave people, And it's like, I guess, going to hell. Basically, they can bring you back to life after you're dead, have you reactivated into clone after clone, and just killed one after the other. And there's no waking up and in your bed the next day, because you don't have an anchor body anymore. You just keep going one after the other, getting killed and killed and killed. Even though in the past, when they have tried to do this to someone, they get bored of it after a time, right? The person's screaming and stuff, and it's just the same thing over and over again. So then eventually they stop, but they make people watch sometimes to use that as a deterrent. And they also watch murder videos. They call them snuff films. They have big screens at the cloning center where they can get these murder videos, and they'll sit around watching them. And some people don't like watching them, some people do. But the ones that don't like watching them, they don't even say that they don't like it. They just sit there and watch it. They're so scared.
Right.
But they're all hanging on the edge of their seats, well, most of them, wishing that I could end it quicker, because I'm kind of a big hope for them, because I'm not going to be killed, and they can't deter me with their threats and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like the wild card that can talk about this, which I am. I've been doing it as much as I can, and as you were saying, I'm not getting paid. I'm not writing a book, selling tickets to a seminar or anything like your David Icke and stuff, those guys. And so that's a good indication to people that something's different about me, right?
Right. All right, Donald. Well, hey, you know what? That's 90 minutes, man. It went really quick, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's get you on again in the near future, and I want you to update us on anything that you find out underground, or anything that you want to tell us, our fans around the world about. By all means, get a hold of us. Get a hold of me.
And your fans now.
Yeah. And let's keep doing this, and I'm sure the more you get out there, the more these rappers and rock stars and actors are going to come out, and let's keep tabs on the ones that whack out, because those are probably the ones who are losing it, who are clones. We're kind of like keeping a tab on things on this end.
Yeah. Good.
And let's keep on going. And you know, if you can get a hold of Tequila, if she, you know, if we can get her on the air, that would be cool. But let's keep spreading
See
the
what I
word.
can do.
Yeah, see if you can get a hold of her. See if she can come on. You know, we'd like to have her on as well.
She loves Danny or Donnie. She loves you.
Yeah. Sure, she sure does.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right, Donald, I appreciate you calling in, man. Again, let's keep in touch. Don't go away, and let's talk soon. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Donnie.
All right, thank you, Don.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it, man. Take care.
We'll see you guys
All
next
right,
time.
you too. Good night.
Night.
Donald, are you there? Over.
Donald, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling insulted. You guys only give me a fucking 20 to half hour.
Dude, you told me you didn't have much to talk about.
I got a lot, but
Okay, I don't see him on the
Guys,
screen. I don't.
You don't see him?
not to insult your show, but
Oh,
your venue,
wait a
you
minute.
guys chase ghosts and shit. And
Right.
ghouls and goblins and shit.
And
You know how important it is what I'm telling people? I'm not trying to be insulting you guys, but it is worldly important. It is a major crisis. I'm trying to find my earphone plug here. And if you guys are a part of that, you guys are world heroes at the same time. Just a second, I think this is the port.
all right. Well, Donald Marshall is trying to get his situated here. Alan is trying to get.
Are we on now?
Oh well, we got audio, but Alan is trying to.
Everybody can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, everybody can hear you.
Wonderful. I didn't think that we were live.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Great. The whole damn time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. Okay. I think, well, I can hear you through the headphones now.
Okay.
And you can hear me, yes?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
fine. And
Yeah, well, I can't see you yet.
Alan is trying to
I'm
figure.
working on it.
Alan is trying to distinguish. Hit that on this side.
Okay, you'll be able to see us, but
Oh, we don't get the camera up, dude. We forgot the camera.
no, we didn't have. I
Okay.
wonder why it's not.
Is this the beginning of the show?
Yeah, we're in 15 minutes in it, so you're not going to be able to see us, which is fine. You don't really want to see us.
No, I want to see you.
Oh, you want to see?
Yeah, like before when you made me come down on the big screen and I'm the big
You
head.
wanna keep
The
this
hypno-toe.
Okay, well, darn it. All right.
Come on.
All right, hold on.
There he
Hold on.
goes.
I'm going to let Alan go ahead and talk to you while I get the camera situated. Hold on.
Okay, well, Alan, what's new?
Howdy, bro. I can
That's
see you
fine.
now, and I think everybody can see you now. Yeah.
Oh, great. That picture is too big, man.
Huh? The picture's too big.
Yeah.
It's on the wall
Consider
behind
myself
me.
That handsome, and I don't like to even be seen. And people think that I'm either dead or taken over by some kind of parasitic lizard.
Man, I've been reading. I've been reading that some of the people think that. You know, but
Yeah,
only. But I could tell. Like I read your posts all the time, and I could tell that you're the same old Don.
No, you wouldn't be able to tell, dude. They
Are they that good?
they know my mannerisms, my speech patterns, and everything, and they don't call them mimics for nothing.
Mimics. Huh.
You wouldn't doppelgangers, mimics. You wouldn't be able to tell, dude.
Really?
When you will be able to tell, and for everyone out there, you'll be able to tell when I start taking things back.
Oh, I see. So you'll start going back on your word or what you've been saying over the course of the years.
Right away,
Yeah.
little bit by little bit.
Huh.
But that's when you'll know. Because I'll never take nothing back.
Right. Yeah.
Because I only, very carefully, have told things that I am only certain about. I don't elaborate or, like, assume, you know. Only things that have been proven to me. And they've proven things to me over and over again. Like, I won't say retarded because it's politically incorrect. Like mentally handicapped children. They would say, we can do this, Dawn. And I'd say, I don't believe you can do that. over and over again throughout my life. They would say, "Yes, we can. Look," and they would prove it to me. Just
So
to
they
prove
make
me wrong.
they
Just to
make people
prove me
born that way, right? Is that
what?
they make it, or they cause people to be born like that, like retarded, or
No, it's when people die.
oh,
They come back with the chip.
Man,
You know,
what
in a
happened to
stolen
Prince,
body
dude?
or a chip in the head of a clone, and then they're stupefied with the flaws of intellect, and then they're stupefied.
Man, that sucks, man.
More than you
that's
realize
almost
it
that's almost
sucks.
too much power for somebody. You know what I mean?
Well, guess what? Those people that died, they're usually rich and politically powerful people, and you guys had all better pray for my success if you believe in any gods at all.
Right.
Which makes me feel
Well-
stupid.
Well, okay. Do you believe in God?
I believe in many gods now. I would tell you about it, but then I would sound like a schizoid.
Why is that?
But why that, did
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah. I mean, I believe in a higher power. You know.
I did too.
At one time.
Yeah, but then I got introduced to a multitude of the higher powers.
Okay.
You don't know what's going on. I can't believe. Okay, for the viewers, I'm going to X out of some of these smaller windows. For the viewers in the crowd, can you tell them how long I have to speak to you? Because I'm not sure. Is it 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. The last time we spoke before this interview, I wanted you to come on, but then you told me you didn't have much to talk about, so I don't know what we would be talking
No,
about.
Dude, clarify. I have very much to talk about, but I don't want to be punished tonight when I go to sleep.
Okay. So you have a lot to talk about, but you can't talk about some of the stuff because you're afraid you're going to get busted, punished in the cloning centers, right?
Yeah, but I don't really care about that.
Okay.
Remember this for the future, you two. I'm going to be dead. You are both going to be able to sell this broadcast and your perceptions of this broadcast for a lot of money. Kind of a big deal. And it'll be even more of a big deal after I'm dead, which I assume I will be.
Man, I hope they don't kill you.
Now, you were gone for a month on
Sorry.
Facebook. What happened? You were gone for a month on Facebook. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. For the first 30 days, I got... Am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Well, it is an F word, but not the F word.
You can say whatever you want.
I hate Prince, the singer. All right, I
Right.
hate him. They used to use me when I was a child to make songs for Prince when I was a kid. Okay, as retarded as that sounds, I have to say that's what happened. And many, many more people. I was a phenomenon about making songs and coming up with melodies that stuck in people's heads. And the poetry and lyrics in the songs didn't even matter at all. People just assumed that they were metaphorical and meant something in a strange way, but they didn't. Sometimes they just rhymed. I didn't like Prince. And the reason I was banned for the 30 days, I said, I don't care that Prince is dead. He was a fag. Anyway, I said the F-A-G word, you guys. I'm sorry. Not really, I'm not. I lied there. I'm not sorry. I don't really like homosexual men at all. Don't sympathize with their lifestyle. Mind you, I like lesbians. I have to say
I
that.
do
So
too.
it's not like I'm against homosexuality. If I was a woman, I would be a lesbian myself because the feminine form is very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I find the human, male, hairy, to be unattractive. Like, I'm glad that I am found attractive sometimes. That's all that I mean. Anyway, after the 30 days was almost up, do you know what happened then?
No.
Facebook will pay. They'll say it was an automated thing that did it. I got banned for another 3 days so that they could say it was 33 days because they love that number.
Okay, so they banned you because you said something bad about Prince?
No, because I said fag. I said I don't care about that fag.
Oh, okay. All
Who
right.
cares about that dead fag or something like that? I can't remember.
So
exactly.
somebody turned you in, or they were monitoring you
No, they were monitoring me. They monitored me
for a while.
every day, every minute.
Yeah.
In more ways than you understand.
Oh, yeah.
I could tell you, and you probably wouldn't believe me, and half of your viewers that haven't looked into my story would think that I was some kind of a schizoid, which I'm not. I'll tell you in a minute. 30 days banned because I said F-A-G.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him it was just a
lesbians.
cigarette.
I like lesbians. Don't get me wrong. Lesbians are very cool in my book. I've tried to turn some of them back to our team. Anyway, after the 30 days were almost up, they do not want me to do this show, by the way. They banned me for another 3 days after the 30. Do you know why? This was the most retarded thing. I can see banning me for saying the F-A-G word, a homo slur, you know. Do you know what they said? And they will pay for this and answer for this. They said, well, you can look on my Facebook wall. They said something like, it is illegal to post pictures of women or people that are under the age of 18 or something. Mind you, I couldn't post in the Facebook Messenger either. So that's a moot point. I couldn't have posted anything, much less pictures of people that are under 18, which I would only have to assume are women, because, you know, I'm not going to post pictures of naked guys. Mind you, I wouldn't post pictures of naked women either. That's not what I'm doing, right? Never mind. It was just an idiotic thing.
Right.
What are we talking about, guys?
Well, what do you want? Well, let's talk. Let's talk about. Okay. You know, obviously, the last time we had you on, we talked about a lot of stuff. We had you on for a long time, dude. A lot of stuff.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. Now, okay. Obviously, since then, Prince has died, and a lot of people want to know if you know anything about Prince. And obviously, we talked about it a little bit.
Shall I pour out a little liquor?
The what?
For the homie. Shall I pour out a little liquor for the homie that did not make it?
If you want. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to. It's better used elsewhere.
I kind of figured he's having a good time over there. It sounds like you're like night and day from last time. You told me you were gonna, and I do, and I don't want to say what I do in the beginning of every show, but I like your right now. I like the way you are right now because I feel
Well,
that.
I'm a little bit pissed, dude.
Yeah.
Would you like to know why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and now, do not take offense. I'm telling you, do not take offense. This is not derogatory to your show. Your show is pretty cool. I like the set. You have cool props and everything.
Uh-huh.
But it is a catastrophe that I have to fall back to this kind of a venue to expose the things that I know which should be on CNN. Which could sound like an insult to you, but
No,
it's
not at all.
It is not.
No.
Your set looks very cool, especially the big Sasquatch in the background. It's very cool. And you even got a gray alien sitting back there somewhere.
Yeah.
But you guys, I am not going to survive.
I've wondered
Yeah, you're
about
looking
that.
at a dead man. I figured I was going to be dead already.
I've been wondering about that for
I
a
do
year.
not care.
Mm-hmm.
So-
What were you saying?
I said I've been wondering about that for a year because you kind of been warning us, you know, on Facebook, like, and then you would disappear. Everybody's like, oh man, you know.
Why I'm not dead already. I can explain. I've already written it out on Facebook. I've written out everything,
Yeah.
and it is all free, by the way, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. And
I
that,
am never selling a book, and I am never selling tickets to a lecture or something like everyone else does.
right.
That should be an inclination that something is different.
I agree. It's the same thing here, dude. You know, we don't sell. Well, I mean, people want us to sell, cups and shirts and and write books and all that. But I have not made a cent to this day by selling stuff for this show. Just to let you know, not
That's
a single.
glorious.
Okay, we've accepted donations for those who can. We appreciate those people who have donated, but we're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars. We're only talking hundreds of dollars. All right, so
Well, then I guess you're a crusader for justice and truth.
absolutely,
Right?
absolutely, and that separates us from the people who are out there selling stuff to make money. That's not us here, and
Yes.
I just want to make sure you understand that. And
you.
eventually, we are going to start selling stuff because I'm paying out of my pocket, for internet, for live stream, for all this. It's coming out of my pocket. I'm not charging people for shit.
People that do that get rewarded in the future for their sacrifices.
Well, I'm hoping that things are going to get better for us and we're going to get bigger, and that's the way it's looking right now. So,
Mind you, think of my situation.
well, yeah, I mean,
Dead men enjoy no rewards.
dead man walking, huh?
I've been.
Exactly. I said that at cloning a bunch of times. Like from Green Mile, I kept on saying it. Dead man walking, dead man here, dead man here.
Yep.
And then they told me to shut up or I'd get smashed. Mind you, they do not want me to do this interview. I don't know what the hell I say.
That's
There
interesting.
is something that I say that they do not.
What
Like-
what is have you heard from whom have
I
told
can
you?
tell you, but it will sound absurd. Would you like to hear?
Absolutely, I'd love to hear it.
That's what
You've
everybody's
heard-
asking right
you've
now.
seen the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
We have. You wouldn't know because you don't have chips, or as far as I know. We have redone these past 3 days, second time through now. And you can believe me or not, I don't care. But
I think it's cool. We went squatching for 3 days, 3 times. I love it.
no, the past 3 days it involves the CERN Hadron Collider.
Uh-huh.
When they slam protons, I don't know if I told you this the last time, they can do an effect. They call it the Groundhog Day Effect, just like the movie. And if things don't go their way, they can go back to the last slam, whether they did it yesterday or 3 days ago or last week. And then they can correct things, but you do not remember unless you have a chip in your brain. A certain kind of chip, which I have, and many of the other ones do have, and they're multi-use chips. They do multiple things. They transfer consciousness and everything. Now, you people, normal civilians, would feel a strong deja vu. If they do it a third time, you remember everything. You could even remember lottery numbers.
Whoa, that was cool.
But we are only in the second time through, and I'm very certain that we have already done this. And I don't know what I said to piss them off, and I don't want to go to sleep tonight and get my skin cut off.
So let's talk about and I like I said, we just got home a little while ago. I wasn't able to put down in words, but the guy from Harry Potter just came out about 3 or 4 days ago about Hollywood and children and molestation, pedophile,
No, you got the wrong guy. The guy from Harry Potter is a different guy.
Oh,
This is the guy Elijah Wood
Elijah
from the
Wood.
Lord of the Rings.
thank you. My bad. You're right.
The guy from Harry Potter is a different guy that looks very similar.
You got it. My bad. Yes. Okay. So the guy from Lord of the Rings. So can you what can you tell me about the Hollywood elite? They're obviously connected with Vril, right? I mean,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes. And
Okay.
Silence through fear. I feel I should talk quickly because you only gave me a half hour. Okay, listen. Elijah Wood didn't mind being used when he was a kid for benefit.
Money, right? Fame.
That's what most of them do.
Yeah.
If they ever try to talk,
Which he's doing now. I mean, don't you think
he took it back. He took it back and said
What?
that he didn't even mean it. He said he was elaborating on someone else's article and they took it out of context.
Really? I missed that.
Yeah,
I
but that
missed
was
that.
just a lie because
Somebody told them
they
to not.
bounced time. And they said, take it back or we're going to kill you. That's what they do. That's why no one can talk. Because they bounce time. That's the biggest fail-safe, you guys. Oh my god. I'm trying to save the world here, you guys. They have time-bounce tech like the Groundhog Day Effect with Bill Murray. They can do it a day or a week whenever they made the past slam. Now, if someone comes out tomorrow, say Pink the singer, and Elijah Wood knows all about me, all about cloning. I've met him and talked to him there. Same with Pink the singer. I'm just using her as an example. If she comes out tomorrow on national, international live television and says, there's a cloning center and they're killing people, they use us as slaves and we can't say anything, do you know what they do? We will again go back to 3 days ago to the last proton slam of CERN Hadron Collider. I don't know how the science works. I'm not a physicist. They will go back to 3 days ago, and guess what happens to Pink? Pink gets shot
Silenced.
3 days ago. Yeah. Alright. Pink gets shot.
Somebody trying to sleep back there?
Yeah, that's my roommate.
Yeah.
He doesn't know I'm on the radio. You guys are making me a little excited. I'm kind of frantic because look at the lengths that I have to go to.
No, I understand.
And again, not an insult.
Right.
But it should be CNN.
Well, they control that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They control all that. I mean, I've
yes,
read
they
your
do.
stuff. and-
Anderson Cooper is that cloning, yes.
Yeah, they control it. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from your website. In fact, there's some questions in here they were telling you. They were asking the Mandela Effect. What do you know about the Mandela
That has to do with the time bounce thing. They change things for sometimes just for a joke.
Let me get that's from Elizabeth.
No, actually, a bunch of people were asking.
Really? Because Elizabeth is very much. You know, people are. For those who don't know what the Mandela Effect is that I don't know how I can explain this, but you know of something, and then you go back to do research on it, and it's totally wrong what you know, and it's been changed. It's different.
In a slight way.
Yes, from what you remember it to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years ago. It's like, wait a minute, I thought that actor was dead, but he's alive, or vice versa. Or a print in the Bible or a print in a manuscript that
It's
you
changed
read
slightly.
is changed slightly to where the effect or the meaning has now been totally changed for a different way.
They do that for a joke
Really? Wow.
because no one can do anything about it.
Right.
Think about it. What has anybody done about it?
You can't. I mean, if you come out and say what we're saying right now on freaking NBC or CNN, they're going to laugh you out the door.
Yeah.
And call you crazy.
Absolutely. But people
what
are
can you do
people are catching it now, and they're reporting it on social media where other people will go back and do research to say, hey, you're absolutely right. It has changed. I remember that actor was dead, but now he's alive. Or
They
what?
can't change it very much, though, or it'll cause something called paradox that will change other things. So they only change it in a minute way. The spelling of a movie, other things. They just do it for a joke to flaunt their power.
See, we tell people that they tell us in advance with television and radio shows and movies. I mean, they tell us what they're doing, and everybody thinks it's entertainment, but really it's real, huh?
Oh, you don't say.
But only
No, I don't believe you. I don't
No?
think that's true. No, you're wrong. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, well, that is true. Yes, I'm being sarcastic. Come on.
Okay.
You had me scared there. Damn it.
Yeah, I was.
You know what? I'll open up another beer, dude. You need another beer.
I'm not through this one.
Oh,
I
okay.
lost my smokes, though. It's not good.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have to do without for now.
Okay.
Anyway, we only have a half an hour. Let me recap what we did in the past.
Okay.
They have a cloning situation. It is not cloning from a baby. That is replication cloning. They have this thing called duplication cloning. They can make a duplicate of you. Now, somehow, through neurology, they can make you be activated into your dreams. It's in songs all over the place. Sometimes I put hints in songs. This is so terrible. I feel like I have to recap everything.
No, not really. If anybody wants to go back and watch the show that we did previous, they can. But you know,
but there's new people.
yeah, I know.
People can. The Illuminati can entrap your consciousness in a way. It's like a soul cage. It's a terrible thing. They can activate you into a duplicate clone of yourself while you are in total REM sleep. And then have the option of having you remember that or not. And they can interrogate you for anything that you know, your passwords, anything. It's crazy. And they can terrorize you, torture you, which they've done to me and others. Most people kill themselves. I didn't.
Why?
You better. Why? What?
Why?
Didn't I?
No. Why do you think they got rid of Prince?
Oh, I don't know. Well, there was a rumor saying he was trying to get ownership of his copyright or something.
Right, which he succeeded, and that made that took away the money toward the record companies to him, and that right there is a big no-no.
He's not getting any money now.
No. You go against the man. You go against them. You're going down. Absolutely, money is everything to them. That's how they control.
Unless you're me. I am the only exception. Do you know why?
Actually, so far you really are. Everybody else that talks about this gets shut up. Yeah.
Phil Schneider.
Yeah, they shut him up.
Did you ever hear of Phil Schneider?
Heck
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they found him with a
unsung
piano
hero.
wire.
He tried to do what I'm doing, but he didn't know the entirety. Do you know why they have allowed me to live?
I have no idea.
Let me tell you. Because I made an absurd amount of songs. Top 10 songs since the 80s, since I was a child. It's the only reason they've allowed me to survive. As retarded as that sounds, I'm sorry. But it's true.
If there was one thing that you haven't told everyone that you thought was one of the most important things that people to know right now, what would it be?
It's three things. In a nutshell, people are being consciousness transferred into clones and getting messed up and killed remotely. Remote murder, it's easy. Untraceable. 2, they use alien body snatchers, foreign and domestic. There's a biological body snatching method, and then there's a technological body snatching method, just like Selfless, where people avoid death using microchips in the head and live again. They would use clones, but it's not as good as a real person. 3, well, that is the third part. The biological body snatching and then the technological body snatching. Those are the next two things. It's the most important things that I have to tell everyone about. And there's aliens. There's multiple kinds of aliens. And they are all ugly. Humans are the best looking aliens. In case anybody's wondering.
They must be jealous of us, huh?
They are jealous of us. That's why they want to be us. Most kinds are like some of these freaks online say. Lizards, reptilian, they are a reptilian type. But there's lots of different kinds of reptilian types. And some of them don't even like each other.
Right. They war against their own self.
Well, only so much.
Cool.
I've seen them. They come and have spoken to me a lot. You know, your Anunnakis and your Zeta Reticulums. Oh, they're real. They put themselves in movies, portray themselves in movies to get an idea of what people think about what they look like. And they are not pleased. When they get called ugly, disgusting, they hate us even more. I've talked to so many different kinds. There's a collaboration of aliens, and religious people will hate me for saying this, but they call themselves the Covenant, which sounds like it has religious connotations. I don't know. I don't care. They call themselves the Covenant. It's a collaboration of 8 different kinds of like alien races. I thought there was only some from underground, but there are some from space as well. I only tell people things that I know for absolute certain.
Right.
And I found this stuff out for certain.
Is there anything like lately that we should be worried about? Are they have a plan that we should be worried about or preparing for or anything?
They don't tell me much now because they know I'll only relate it.
Oh.
But what I have found out, well, it's funny. It's 50-50. They're either going to try to promote me because they love enacting prophecy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple prophecies, Hopi, Nostradamus, and Revelations, and everything. They try to put it in a big smorgasbord. They either want to promote me as the good guy in all of this, or they want to promote me as the Antichrist.
Interesting.
And I am not the Antichrist. You will see in the end. I'm just not. They scared the hell out of me saying that they would try to do that. But they were threatening me with that if I don't go along with them, say what they want me to say. They will say that and try to use something called the highlight reel to denounce me and make me look bad. They have this thing called the highlight reel where I am at cloning under drugs and mind control, doing very questionable things. And the casual observer will take these things at face value right away. But I have no memory of these things.
Alright.
So, anyway, is our half hour up, Sasquatch Hunters?
I'm giving you more time because you're spilling your guts, buddy, and that's what I want. I want you to spill your guts. And you told me that beforehand that you were gonna, like I do, take a couple of drinks before, loosen up, and you are loosening up, and everybody is loving it because you are spilling your guts, buddy, and that's what I want you to do.
Do we have a lot of live viewers and people in the chat room?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for some reason mine's not saying how many, but they were saying there's 300 or something.
That's a lot.
I wish I could find my cigarettes. I'm very stressed talking about this stuff.
Well, go ahead and look for them, man. Because if that's gonna help you calm down and talk some more, then go for
I've
it.
already looked. They're not anywhere close.
Not anywhere close.
Dude,
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm going to have to spend some time looking for them. I can do without for now.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
Well,
They say there's 278 in the chat.
Just in chat.
That's just in chat, though.
Yeah, there's a lot.
278 people.
Yeah.
Just in chat, not viewing this, but you have to sign up to get into chat. That's totally different than viewers.
Still not enough.
Well, no, that's a lot, dude. A lot of people, 278, who are talking among each other. That is a lot compared to a lot of other sites, dude. Trust me.
Probably just my cult followers.
It could be.
There's some in there.
Trust me, they're there.
There's some in there.
Do you know what some people have said about me, you guys?
What?
Oh my God.
What do they say?
That I'm a cult leader, like Charles Manson.
I never
Facebook Manson.
I never thought about that, dude.
They have said that I am the Antichrist. Some religious fanatics, zealots.
Yeah, I can't.
They
see
have
that.
said that.
I can't see that.
I can't see that either because
Nah.
I do good stuff. I'm like inherently good.
Right.
Also, what they've said that I'm lying for financial gain when I don't get anything.
Right. So that's out.
Man, we know that feeling.
People have called me such names that I've never been called in my life.
Yeah, what people don't understand and don't do research is that there are rock stars coming out and talking about cloning centers now, dude.
They consider that satire when they see it.
Oh, bullshit.
They don't even listen to it. They go, "Oh, well, that's very interesting." Like,
right?
And they put a like on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
No.
Good Sunday read.
Right.
They don't care.
Oh, see that right there is telling me if it wasn't for those rock stars out there who are multimillionaires who are hit after hit selling out arenas, and they're coming out and saying, I'm cloned. I've seen cloning centers, even rappers, and now Nicki Minaj and that other dude. I was expecting them to go 6 feet under because
Nicki
of saying
Minaj,
that.
Erased it because she probably was scared of going 6 feet under.
Right.
But there's multiple others that have said it, but then also erased it.
Right. Now, for all those,
even Elijah Wood went back on what he said because he probably went to sleep, woke up at cloning, and they said, "Take it back," and he did.
Wow.
That happens all the time. Like even Tila Tequila, even though she's a drug-addled porn whore. Am I allowed to say that?
You did.
She went on YouTube, put out a YouTube video, the cloning centers. She did it by surprise. Like she was supposed to talk about the black nobility. And she went on and started talking about cloning centers and what happens there. And then she got threatened that night when she went to sleep. I was there. She got threatened by an alien. She got screamed in the face. This far away from her face. It screamed in her face. Her hair was flying back and everything, just like a movie. I was in the stands. It was refreshing to have someone else in the dirt.
Oh, man.
With an alien. And I was in the stands for once. It screamed in her face, hair flying back. After that, well, she was very brave, though. She just stood there. I mean, she blinked, though, because there was some spit going in her face and stuff. From what they call a Vril Type 3. Phil Schneider used to call them long neck grays.
Yeah. The ones that ripped him open. Right?
This one's neck was not that long. And it was very ugly, and it screeched high-pitched in her face. After that, she didn't say much of anything.
Wow.
And she left my friends list. She never really spoke to me again.
Yeah, I noticed you two don't get along now at all.
Well,
she says stuff about you, and you say stuff about her.
I think
funny thing is, she's the only one, even though she's a D-list celebrity or Z-list celebrity, really.
Right.
She's the only celebrity that has ever talked in a derogatory fashion about me. None of the others are supposedly allowed. And can I tell you a little secret?
Absolutely.
Her child is supposed to be made from my genes. Clone sperm. Clone sperm still works. Like, I never banged Tila. I would never. I'd be afraid of getting some kind of rot. Like, honestly, what? That's not realistic? Yeah, really, yeah.
I agree with you, man. Only it's funny, but I agree with you.
Still works. Clone eggs from women do not work.
Well,
So you can use clone people as stud horses, and she used me for this, and that child is supposed to be a spawn of me.
Hey, we got a call coming in. Let's see if it's a real call. Hello, you're on the air. Who's this?
Oh, hey, this is Jordan.
Jordan, you have a question for Donald?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I actually have a major question about the paranormal.
Oh, is it concerning Donald though?
I don't know.
No. Okay. You know, we're talking with somebody right now. Call back in later, okay?
How long?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Bye.
It's too bad you couldn't give these people like a cyber slap in the face. You know, okay.
Sometimes, man.
Paranormal.
It feels
I know
like
a hell of a lot about paranormal. And can I make your jobs easier?
Hey, I have a question, Donald. Were you able to hear him right now when he was on the air?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was very annoying actually. I don't like to answer questions. I did it for 2 years.
Did you? Okay.
I don't want to anymore.
Okay, right on. All right.
Guys.
Yeah.
You won't believe me, but guess what?
What?
There's no such thing as ghosts, ghasts, poltergeists. There is no such thing. There are undead.
Yep.
But they are recorded on Microchip, and they body snatch people and live again. That is the only undead you will find in the world. If you see evidence of cupboard doors opening and shit, it's people with spider wire trying to deceive you. It's the Vladimir Putin at cloning, because I asked them since I was 12, you guys. I said, I want to know about ghosts. I want to know. And I asked them about everything, and they told me everything. I don't know why. I think just because of the songs, they just wanted to have, they wanted to talk to me. Vladimir Putin said it best. From Russia, yeah, Vladimir Putin, president of Russia. He said, don't listen. And he's a very terrible man. He is one of the worst people I've ever known in the world. One of the worst people in the world. He said, don't listen. If there was real ghosts, I would have captured one by now, cage it, and be drawing power from it to power submarine. There is no ghost. I would be sucking the juice out of it for energy to power a military vehicle. There's no ghosts, you guys. It's just they keep the idea alive to keep movies going, you know?
What about Bigfoots?
I don't want to dilute my information with talk about Bigfoot. Mind you, Bigfoot is real, but it doesn't run around wild, and you guys are never going to find it.
Yeah.
Bigfoot ain't from Earth, I'll tell you. But it's not a smart alien.
Yeah.
It's a pitied alien. You'll find out in the end. You're not going to catch them now. They get put into animal preservation zone in the woods. I told you about it the other day, a little bit.
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
Let's not get into that. There's more important things.
Okay. Well, I'm the Bigfoot guy, like my shirt, you know. I got a Bigfoot on it. I like chasing them around, even though I can't catch them. You're right.
You'll never catch
to
them.
me, they're ninjas.
We'll never allow
like,
you
know,
to.
They're like ninjas. Now you see it, now you don't. Just like that.
Well, I would tell you, but there's much more important things, and they're not even smart things. So.
Right.
And it's trivial, really. What else did I want to tell you guys about? You're all in a whole lot of trouble.
Hey, what do you know about this coming election, presidential election?
Well, there's a prophecy that says there isn't going to be an election.
Yeah. Is that what you're referring to as we're in a lot of trouble? Or is it meaning like we're in a lot of trouble for having you on here? Like, I wonder about that sometimes.
We've always been in a lot of trouble, dude. Do you know how many children go missing every year?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Do you know the actual number, dude?
It's in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, I know. But what does people do about it? And it's concentrated around certain areas.
Yes, it is.
Do you know why?
No, I don't.
Well,
know.
sometimes it's retards. And
What? Underground bases, maybe?
That's what we think.
Underground bases and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you last time that aliens are extreme perverts?
I believe that. I mean, what the biggest joke there is you're going to get probed. You know, when then people start talking and joking about aliens.
Well, sometimes
they're sick.
Those abductions are not even real. It's people messing with people. There's some bad stuff going on. I can't believe I don't have an angry mob by now. What is going on, you guys?
Are you in the chat where you could read? You do have an angry mob. A little bit.
No, I'm not reading right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, whenever we talk about everything here, Donald, and you can't you can't make everybody happy.
Mm-mm.
You can't. We're gonna have people.
No,
we're gonna have people on on here like you, where we get a lot of people asking for you, and because you're throwing shit out there that are just blowing people's minds, man.
Yeah,
but it's all true, and you need to hear it.
Yeah, and
we'll catch shit about it, but only you know what? Then next week we'll have somebody else that's talking about something totally different, and a lot of people want to see him, but then there's a lot that don't, and we catch shit about it,
But we can't make everybody happy.
Yeah. In the future, you will roll your eyes and be disappointed that you even had them on your show and not me.
Sometimes we already have.
Yeah. So.
No, you guys, they're going to allow me to win. It's going to look set up, too. What happens on my Facebook wall, I tell people about certain things. And then some reputed scientist comes out and says, this is what we can do now. And it's something that I said 5 days ago.
Yeah.
They corroborate me intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Intentionally. And it actually makes it, they've done it so many times. They've done it about 30 times in the past couple of years. And it makes it look like I am down in a nefarious plot with them. But I'm not. But I think maybe that's what they're trying to insinuate. But it's not the case.
Well, I think the best thing you ever put on your Facebook was you were describing these ugly aliens. All of them are ugly. But they give you an AR-15 or something, and I don't know why they did, but and you're like, I ran out there
feel more secure.
And you shot the hell out of the dude, and I thought that was the greatest thing I ever heard, man. I was cheering you on in that one.
They gave me a pistol at one time too, and I did something like that too, but they got me back.
Oh, did they? Oh, man.
Oh, they punished me, yeah.
Yeah, you were saying it was like a 400-year-old, like really high up dude.
Well, lizards live a long
up,
time. Lizard types live a very long time, longer than humans, right? We're mammals. Lizards live longer than mammals. Yeah. There was different kinds of things that I got at different times. Mind you, I thought that I was dead.
Oh, I believe it.
So I did not care. Doom is doom. And no one has insulted Queen Elizabeth, as much as me. And
that's true.
I mean, Chris Benoit, the wrestler, insulted her a little bit, and look what happened with him, right?
Yeah, his whole family.
I've done it 100,000 times more than him, and I'm still alive, only because of all the songs. So I always thought I was dead. So I go for broke. Yeah. And I said, I don't feel secure here. So they'd say, here, hold this revolver. Yeah. This was after a long time. Like, I never got to do this for a long time. And I would gain their trust, and then they'd get an important sentient being around me, and I'd go,
I wonder if they die.
Pow!
Yeah.
right in the face because I didn't care. I figured they were going to kill me anyway. I thought I was dead. Doom is doom, right?
Yep.
Until I found out they can cage your soul.
Oh, man.
So, guess what happens if I die without being able to expose all of this? I am doomed and I basically go to hell. Hell being manufactured, technological, live again and again and again hell through clone after clone after clone. And they can manipulate your memories too. So
does that mean that Queen Elizabeth and maybe Vladimir Putin has been around for a very long time?
It's very possible, but I'm not certain of that. But they're scared of the things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could show you pictures. I was gonna put one up on my tablet and show you these things, but they're carved on rock walls, cartouches of them. These big bird things and these big bulbous eyes, guys, with perfectly manicured curled beards. And they are real things.
I seen those. Like one of them's even holding a big old tiger or something like by the neck, and he's huge, right?
Yeah. They call those guys Elohims,
Yeah.
which is something in religion too. And those bird guys are Anunnakis. But you guys ever see the movie The Dark Crystal?
Yeah.
When they get old, they look like Skeksis. Their feathers come out, and they get all twisted and bent over.
Just like those guys in the movie?
Yes.
You know, they all look all old and hunched over, you know, and
Dude,
frail.
not even semi like them. Accurate.
Oh, wow.
And that's what they look like when they get elderly. And the other things, those guys that go, oh, those mystics, they called them in that show. Those are real things too, but those aren't Anunnakis. They are Nephilims, and they're just a evolved kind of rodent. They're rodentia type. That thing they do,
yeah,
they come from underground too. That is why they survived underground, because Vrils and everything down there, the lizard types, they have very sensitive hearing, they have sonar and everything. Now when these things would go, do that, they call it the cord, right? When they would do it together, it would drive off the lizard types. It would make them driven away from them because it hurts their heads.
That's interesting.
Mind you, they don't have 4 arms. They only have 2 arms, but they look identical. Those were really, really old ones, though. Those mystics, they lose their hair except for on the top. You know how it just covers up their eyes and stuff? They lose their hair everywhere but the top, which is kind of the opposite from humans. But when they're younger, they have fur all over them. They look like teddy bear hamsters. It's disgusting. Governments know about them and everything.
Well, Mr. Donald Marshall, you've been on for an hour, dude.
Uh-oh.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I think it's awesome, too.
Yeah, because I didn't think I was only going to have enough, to get out of you for like 20 minutes. Because that's what, you told me last time. But I'm glad that.
There's a lot to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even Ra from ancient Egypt, it's not even Ra. He pronounces it Ray.
Right.
And he looks just like that.
The blue bird-headed.
Big bird, but they're not just birds. They're reptile birds.
Hey, what can you tell me about my girlfriend, Katy Perry?
She told me years ago that she was a host. But I don't know for real. She's not very smart.
Host. That's bad, dude. You don't want a girlfriend that's a host.
Damn it!
No.
Yeah. That means
it's way worse than the movie. It's not a timeshare.
Yeah.
Why do you think they made that movie called The Host? It's to gain sympathy for hosts.
Yep.
But it's not a timeshare. It's total takeover, and the previous person dies. It's not sane.
Dang.
I'm bummed. Because all my viewers, all our our friends here know that I have a thing for Katy, but we all know
it must be a visual thing because man, there's nothing up there. To like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You won't like her in time.
Thank Donald. Appreciate it. You just ruined my night. Appreciate it.
Well, sorry about that, but you thank me later.
No kidding.
Okay, dude. All right. This is awesome. Like I said, I was only expecting 20, 25 minutes only because of, we spoke a lot the last time we had you on, and.
Well, I'm so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I mean, you're there. Like I said, you don't
actually when you could talk, you have really. I mean, you keep me on the edge of my seat, really, and I read all your stuff, man. I'm like your biggest fan on Facebook, and you don't even know it.
Cool.
But I read all of it all the time,
and I have no idea.
Free.
Yeah, and I have no idea who you are, dude. So. Just kidding.
I expect everybody to read everything.
Well, I mean, I've been reading it for a long time. Since you've been on Facebook, I've been reading it for a long time.
I'm going to be honest. Alan has been telling me about this dude by the name of Donald Marshall for years and years and years since we've been doing this. And I'm going, why do you keep talking about this dude? And he heard you, he did his research on you about underground bases and cloning centers, and I thought he was
Schneider
absolutely out of his effing mind.
William Cooper.
Okay, I thought he was absolutely. I was about to kick him off the show because he kept.
I would have thought that myself.
Okay,
by the way.
But then everybody started talking about you, dude. And then when I finally heard Nicki Minaj and the rappers talking about cloning centers, and really.
Then finally he goes, click.
Putting them out there. Because it takes a lot to me. It takes a lot for me to get somebody on this show to talk about the stuff that you're talking about. Because people we're going to get slack for it. But I don't care. Because like I said, there's people talking about you who are well known in the music industry.
Yeah.
All right? So there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because it sounds to me that this shit could be true.
Yeah.
It could possibly be true.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just a crazy person.
Well, then Nicki Minaj and that other rapper dude.
Everybody, man, to figure out.
They're all crazy too.
Absolutely.
Jump on my crazy bandwagon. So I'll go for a ride. Yeah.
Well, I've heard many of them in the old guys, the real old musicians. And they get asked, how come you're still touring and you're 82? He's like,
absolutely.
Well,
I got a contract, man.
Yeah, I got to fulfill the contract. And then they go, well, who do you work for? Well, we work for the guy that controls everything. Yeah, and they go, you mean everything? And he said, everything you can see and everything you can't see. That's what they say.
That was Bob Dylan, right?
Bob Dylan said it.
Bob Dylan said that, dude. We played that audio on here and freaked people out.
Yeah.
And that was before my time.
That was yeah.
Actually, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
but only that
person that controlled things back then is not around anymore. And guess who makes the songs now? Well, not anymore. But I made an absurd amount of songs. Wait until you see.
Man, they should share with
from the 80s, Bryan Adams and everything, right from Madonna and everything. It was crazy shit.
They should be like setting you up with money then, man. It makes me mad they just stole it from you.
I won't need it later.
But only then, like, I'll go and play a little piece of a song on YouTube, and they'll copyright hit me, right? They suck, dude. I'm telling you.
All right, Donald, dude, I'm gonna let you go, man, because I think you already blew everybody out of the water again.
Yeah.
And that was our intent, because
and this time I'm going to have your name in big light saying Donald Marshall. Last time I screwed up and forgot to do it on YouTube. But I changed it, and it turned it around. So. Well, I want to get you on here again at a later time. And this time, just like you did today, dude. I love it that you opened up, and I know why. It's because you had a couple of drinks in there, and
that's why.
And it shows, and you opened up, dude. And there's a lot of people out there who are appreciative of that.
Well, next time let's bring Nicki Minaj or Tila Tequila, or both at the same time.
Well, dude, I tried to get Tia. What's her face? I actually sent her a couple of messages, and she never responded back to me.
What's her face? You tried to get what's her face?
next time offer her a 40 of malt liquor and a 24 pack of lube rib condoms.
Oh my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Donald Marshall. Thank you very much. Send all hate mail to Donald Marshall, care of. No, just kidding.
Hey, it might do it. It might do the trick.
It might.
All right, dude. You take care of yourself and keep in touch. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, dude.
Right on, man.
Cool.
Thank you, brother.
See ya.